Welcome back to the show. We had a modern woman who had a delusional list of standards for men to follow in order to date her. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
Okay, first things first. Well, it's no particular order, but first things first, one of my standards when it comes to dating is you have to have a relationship with God.
Here we go.
Blank, period. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts. You have to have a relationship with God. And I mean a true relationship. Not just so any old okie doke like you just say, but you never pick up the Bible, you don't go to church, you gotta have a relationship with God, really. Another standard of mine is you have to have a job. Believe it or not, you have to have a job. You have to have a job, a decent job. Now, you have to be in at least your career, in thriving in your career. Not saying you gotta be perfect, but you have to have a job. If I have a job, you have to have a job. Point A, you have to be a hard worker. You have to be stable in that job. Don't just look for stability. So I would like for a man to be, preferably have a job but be in his career and, doing what he loves to do.
I can tell when I'm looking at a woman who's been dealing with nothing but Pookie and Ray Rays in the dating market, because she's coming back with standards that are very simple and just basic adult standards. Like, can you have a job? It says a lot about the kind of men she's been dealing with. Let's get back into it.
You have to have a car. You have to have a car, point blank, period. If I got a car, you got a car. I mean, come on, me and Bro. You have to have a car, okay? And you have to have your own place. I mean, granted, I know rent is high, and everybody, but really, honestly, I would prefer you have your own. Because I have my own place. I feel like as a man, you should have your own place if you're trying to date me. And these are just basics, honestly. This is just like basic living that you really would need for yourself. You know what I mean? You should want for yourself. Forget a woman. Okay, so you do have to be financially stable. Don't have to be rich, but you do gotta have some money coming in, where you're able to hold your own. Not where you're leeching off of someone else. You're able to pay your own bills through your job or through whatever income you have on your own. You know what I mean? And be able to date as well. And that's another thing. You cannot be cheap. Come on. Y'all really do. You cannot be cheap. I do not like cheap men. That is the biggest turnoff ever. Don't be cheap. Don't be trying to cut corners. No, especially if you're trying to court me and take me out. I'm not going to McDonald's. I'm not going to Chick-Fil-A. I'm not doing any of that. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? If you're trying to court and take me out, I want it to be a nice restaurant. Now, does it have to be a 5-star, 6-star, 7-star? Being realistically, no. But it has to be a nice restaurant.
I'm so tired of hearing this. What's wrong with a man just taking you out for coffee to get to know you? I mean, hell, he doesn't know you. He doesn't know if you're worth a nice dinner. And some would say, why do you have to prove myself for a dinner? Because that takes time, resources, effort, and energy. Men aren't just robots who go out to dinner on a loop, and we're just so used to doing it that we have a couple meaningless dinners we can have. It's crazy that how women talk about guys or what they should expect from men, and you better believe, fellas, if a woman really likes you, she will go sit under a bridge with you to get to know you. Women only treat men who they don't respect initially this way. Say, oh, you need to take me to a nice restaurant or I don't want to go. You better believe that a woman who really is into you and is really digging you would never treat you that way. Date the woman who rocks with you. Let's go ahead and get into it.
So, yeah, I look for a leader in a man. You got to be able to lead. I look for a leader. That point blank period. I like a man to plan things out. Do not ask me out and ask me, where do I want to go? No. What you can do is if you ask me out, you can ask me, hey, what do you have a taste for? If I say I have a taste for, I don't know, hibachi, or if I have a taste for pasta, okay, look up Italian restaurants. Look up hibachi restaurants. You know what I mean? I have a taste for hibachi. Oh, okay, bet. You look up hibachi restaurants and find a nice restaurant. Okay, bet. We can go to I found a nice hibachi restaurant that is cool that we can go to. I don't want to have to plan nothing. I'm sorry. I don't want to have to plan anything. You have to plan it. I look for a man to be a leader. And be able to plan. I don't want to wear the pants in a relationship. I'm sorry. No, I don't want to do that. Also, you gotta have a provider mindset. Now, I'm not the type to be like, oh, if we start dating, you gotta pay all my bills. Absolutely not. That's just no. That's different. That's changed when we get married. yeah. But before then, I do look for a man that does have a provider mindset. Like, he wants to provide. He wants to, spend that money on me. You know what I mean?
No, a man with a provider mindset, that doesn't mean that he just wants to spend his money on a woman. Are just as much opportunists as the women who they try to denigrate are overseas, who they say are trying to scam money out of men. Any man who wants to go be a part of the passport bros act as if they're susceptible to some kind of scam from some devious woman overseas. Yet right here in America, women are trying to scam men out of extra resources while they're dating them. Let's get back into the clip.
He wants to. No man should be okay with sitting up there and his girlfriend working hard and he don't got a job and he ain't paying no bills, he ain't contributing to the household, he ain't doing nothing. As a man, how can you be okay with that? You're not a man. I look for a man that is a true man. I know there's a lot of men out here that's really sassy and feminine. I don't know what's going on, the feminine apocalypse, the sassy apocalypse. And I don't like that. I like my man to be a man. You know what I mean? Not saying you can't have emotions, you can't have feelings, you can. But if you acting like me majority of the time, baby, come on. Only one of us gets our period. You don't get your period.
It looked like she's just looking for a guy who will spend his money on her and is going to be okay with however she behaves. Even if she's a horrible person, he's going to find her so attractive that he's just going to continue to spend money on her and never have any standards or react to anything that she does.
You know what I mean? I like a man that's like really know how to use his hands. I know how to put shit together. Niggas know how to put a toilet together. Niggas don't know how to put no toilets together. They don't put toilets together anymore. Y'all put doors on it. No. I need a man a handyman that know how to use his hands in every single way.
Okay, so this guy has to be a Christian. He has to be able to be good with his hands. He look like he has to have a good amount of money and all this and whatever else. What does he get in return? Like, these aren't even feminine women nowadays who are asking for these ridiculous standards, wanting men to basically be the apex guy out here, the ideal man. And it isn't even clear what men are going to get in return. A lot of these women want you to marry their careers, or they don't want to be feminine. They aren't homely. They don't really even know how to keep a house together. They want to be a man's centerpiece. You know that a woman doesn't value men when she associates the quality of man with the level of restaurant he's willing to take her to. It says everything about how serious she takes men, but the truth is it's how serious she takes that particular man. Like I said before, fellas, if a woman is really feeling you, she would never make you take her to a specific restaurant just to get to know her.
The story about the homeless man in Atlanta who made a public plea for a place to stay and more than 1,000 women responded. This man, who goes by the name of Big Boss Escobar, posted in a Facebook group called Atlanta Rooms for Rent. He said, I recently lost my home, just need a place that is reasonable price so I can get back on my feet. I'm tired of sleeping in Atlanta shelters, very quiet person and stay to myself, work a job, and also have a clothing line. I moved to Atlanta from St. Louis, Missouri 4 years ago. If anybody have any resources you can send my way, I will accept. Thank you. I appreciate it. And of course, the women came through. You can come stay with me, boo. A woman named Britt wrote, off bed, cold AC, plenty of food, and the Wi-Fi jumping. A woman named Tish Lee wrote, you can stay with me. A woman named Courtney said, woo, if you're in my area, you could come stay with me for free. I'll take care of you. After his post went viral and more than 1,000 women responded to his request for a place to stay, he went on Facebook Live to clarify that he's not just a pretty face.
I wanted to be the woman I'm finna lock in with. So whoever it is, for all that I look good shit, is you really trying to lock in so we can get shit right.
Now be for real, ladies. If he came up to you and said he needed a place to stay, how would you respond? Leave a comment to let me know. I'm Tierka with the T. Follow for more.
The same women who want to spend $1,100 to take a picture with Chris Brown, the same women who are waiting to take care of jailbirds as soon as they come out of jail, women who are willing to deal with dangerous men and deal with men who don't even have a place to stay or have limited resources, if they're pretty enough or got enough swag, are the same women asking you for 5-star dates and you don't even know them. They're the same women trying to say that the Cheesecake Factory isn't good enough and that men are cheap. You cannot make this stuff up. Hit the subscribe button on your way out of the room. Also the notification bell to keep you notified every single time we post content just like this. I'll see you guys on the next one. Until next time.